Saturday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm the host for South Carolina Weather, Joseph Peterson, and let's talk about the weather for your Saturday evening. So, looking at the radar right now, we do have scattered precipitation going on up here inside the upstate. We do have scattered precipitation up here as well. It's just to the north and west of Rock Hill. We also do have some showers that go all the way from Columbia all the way down into Augusta, still falling down there. We do also do have some rain as well inside of Barnwell and Allendale as well, as that is falling through there, as well as up here for the North Carolina South Carolina border. We do have some rain up there from Laurinburg and Lumberton down into like Dillon, South Carolina, Hartsville, South Carolina, Florence, South Carolina under flash flood warnings as well, and just to the north and east of Sumter, we do have some rain up there. That includes places like Lamar, Lydia, Hartsville, and Lynchburg as well. So that's what's going on inside of South Carolina. Let's check on the United States. Let's talk about Beryl first because it's down here. And right now, Beryl is still doing its thing. Still 60-mile-per-hour winds, sustained 70-mile-an-hour gusts still. You can still see the yellows. You can still see the greens. They are still out here. You have the strong tropical storm force winds through here. And then you have the kind of like subpar and kind of like weak tropical storm force conditions through there. And this is expected to be a hurricane by tomorrow afternoon. So, yes, this is forecast to be a hurricane by tomorrow afternoon. And that means that Beryl will either make landfall in Corpus Christi, Texas, all the way through towards Rockport, Texas. Let me see, other places like Seadrift, Texas, up through, I don't know how in the world you say that. I'm just going to say Lake Jackson and Freeport, Texas as well. So it's going to make landfall in one of those regions as a Category 1 hurricane. Wind sustained 85 miles an hour with gusts of up to 105 miles an hour. Will be pushing into the coast of Texas probably on July the 8th, so that is Monday. So Monday, probably like early Monday morning, 8, 9, 10 o'clock, somewhere around there. And that's what Beryl is doing right now. We will talk about Beryl more as we get through. But here's the MRMS. You can see that there goes our precipitation down here inside the Carolinas and Georgia. Even inside the deep south, still receiving some precipitation over there, as well as inside of the northeast as well. Still do have some rain over there. We even do have some storms going up inside of the central United States. Severe thunderstorm watches for southeastern portions of Nebraska, as well as northeastern portions of Kansas, and kind of like western portions of Kansas, I should say, is also under a severe thunderstorm watch. Still do also have a bunch of rain that probably some could say it could be associated with Beryl's energy as it moves kind of like westward. So some say that it might be, but I guess, I mean, at least some of the actual like meteorologists that are down there right now. But I mean, yeah, probably just some moisture as well, causing some thunderstorms down there and some flooding. So I mean, still, even outer bands are doing some considerable or having some considerable concerns as it moves, as Barrow's not even a hurricane yet, or it hasn't even like moved in yet. And the west looks pretty fine. Nothing's going on really in the west. Here is our cloud cover. Cloud cover right now, pretty much the entire state of South Carolina is covered by cloud cover, unless you're probably in like Georgetown or something like that. There's a chance that you might not be in any cloud cover, but everyone else is covered with cloud cover. Here is our total percentage for the next 18 or so hours. As we move through, the entire state will be engulfed in cloud cover as we get to tomorrow morning for your Sunday. And then as we get into tomorrow afternoon, still we'll see clouds that pretty much take over most of South Carolina, even as we get into tomorrow afternoon. And here's our current temperature: 79 in Columbia, 80 in Charleston, 79 in Savannah, 82 in Myrtle Beach, 79 in Sumter and Florence, 77 in Rock Hill, 77 in Greenville, Spartanburg, and Anderson. Low temperatures for tonight around 76 in Columbia, 74 Walterboro, 78 Charleston, 79 Hilton Head Island, 77 in Myrtle Beach, 76 Sumter and Florence, 73 inside of Rock Hill, Spartanburg, and then 74 Greenville, Anderson, 74 Aiken. Here is our forecast precipitation for the next 24 hours. You can see that there still is a chance for 2 to 3 inches of rain to fall inside of Aiken, South Carolina as we get through the next 24 hours. But I think that if you're in like the Tri-County region, all the way up into like the PD region of South Carolina, well, not the entire PD region, but like down from Georgetown all the way up to Myrtle Beach as well, you probably won't see any type of precipitation as we go through the next 24 hours. But everyone else does have a shot of seeing some type of precipitation, like a quarter of an inch to a half an inch Spartanburg, tenth of an inch to a quarter of an inch in Greenville, half an inch to an inch possible in Rock Hill, same thing with Cheraw, a 1.5 inches to 2 inches possible in Columbia, half an inch to an inch in Barnwell, tenth of an inch to a quarter of an inch in Anderson, quarter of an inch to a half an inch in Greenwood. So still have that chance to receive some precipitation for most of South Carolina as we move through tomorrow. SPC outlook for tonight. Tonight, pretty much what the precipitation map said, honestly. I mean, you can kind of actually see the resemblance. You can see the resemblance. Here's what the day one risk looks like. And then here's what, well, no, this is what the precipitation looks like. This is what day one looks like. And they pretty much look similar. I mean, there's nothing really that, you can't even tell the difference with both of them. So the places that do have a chance to receive precipitation do have a chance to see thunderstorms with those as well. So still something that you're going to have to watch for as we go through tonight. And then as we go through tomorrow as well, everyone in the state of South Carolina has a chance of receiving thunderstorms tomorrow, and same thing for Monday. So tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday all have a chance to receive some excessive, not some excessive rainfall, but some thunderstorms. But excessive rainfall actually cannot be pulled out of the picture as well, because here is tomorrow have a marginal risk of excessive rainfall that pretty much is for everyone except for like places like Savannah, Charleston, North Charleston, Mount Pleasant, up into like Georgetown, Moncks Corner, all the way up into like Myrtle Beach, Conway, Loris, all those places as well. No chance really of receiving excessive rainfall for tomorrow. But then as we go into day 3, this is for Monday, we do have a marginal risk that pretty much encloses off like Greenville, Augusta, Columbia, North Charleston, Charleston again, Mount Pleasant, and just everyone in this kind of looks like a wave. You can see like the kind of like the foundation of it, and then kind of like curves back, and then it's just a marginal risk, 5% of seeing some excessive rainfall. And then here is our day 4, where you can see it down here, just a little tiny bit of South Carolina is inside of the marginal risk, the very southern side. And then same thing for day 5, little risk of South Carolina is in a risk for some excessive rainfall, like Columbia, the upstate of South Carolina, down towards like Conway, Loris, Florence, Sumter as well for Wednesday, 5% risk of seeing some minor flooding. So again, I think we pretty much have a chance of seeing excessive rainfall every single day for the next 5 days. So if you're in those risks and you're in a low-lying area, please make sure that you guys are watching. So let's go and let's check out the models now and just see what they have to say as we go through the next couple of days. So here is the model. And as you push this forward, you can see here is 9 o'clock. This is what it's supposed to look like at 9 o'clock. Not exactly. There were still like some thunderstorms that was supposed to be dropping kind of like more heavier rain. But this is the AT&T. This was last updated at 3 o'clock p.m. So this is what they thought was going to happen at 3 o'clock. But showers and storms will still continue to push, even as we get to around 2 to 3 a.m. Then it will take a little break at around 3, 4 a.m. And then at 5 a.m. some more storms could pop up near like Camden. And then showers will continue as we go through late tomorrow morning. And then they will fire back up. Storms will fire back up again, even as we get into around 2, 3 o'clock tomorrow, and those will continue to pretty much um, push down to the south. Even I'm watching, probably if I was to watch one system, it'd probably be this one. Let me see if I can draw this one up here as it kind of wants to move its way downward, kind of like a Boeing line that like it kind of like shoots out. That's one thing that I would probably want to watch out for. Just matters what type of ingredients you have in there for severe weather. That's and thunderstorms in general. But you can just see. Let me stop it here, and then let me go to dew points real quick. Obviously, it's been very moist, and obviously tomorrow will be no different. And there may even be some people that have dew points in the 80s, high 70s, low 80s. So it's possible. And then as you get into, let me find out the cape real quick. Here it is. So yeah, and still some very intense cape in the atmosphere if a storm was to get going in the region as well. And this is around 6 o'clock, so I mean the sun would almost be about setting at that point. So that means an uptick in activity, especially when it comes to severe weather. So that's pretty much that. So thunderstorms possible tomorrow, pretty much across the entire state, as you can see there. Now let's talk about the tropics, and the only thing that we're going to talk about is Beryl, because Beryl is the only thing that's occurring. After Beryl is gone, we have nothing else to talk about in terms of the tropics. But here's Tropical Storm Beryl. There is a danger of life-threatening storm surge inundation late Sunday night and Monday along the coast of Texas from the north entrance to the Padre Island National Seashore to San Luis Pass. I think that's how you say it. I may have said that wrong. But it also says residents in that area should follow any advice given by local officials and follow evacuation orders. Beryl is forecast to bring damaging hurricane force winds to portions of the lower and middle Texas coast late Sunday night and Monday. A hurricane warning is now in place for the Baffin Bay to Sargent. It also says preparation should be rushed to completion before tropical storm conditions begin late Sunday. Flash and urban flooding, some of which may be locally considerable, is likely across portions of the Texas Gulf Coast and eastern Texas beginning late Sunday through the middle of next week. River flooding is also possible. Rip currents will also cause life-threatening beach conditions through the weekend across much of the Gulf Coast. Beachgoers should heed warning flags and advice of lifeguards and local officials before venturing into the water. So that's what the National Hurricane Center says on Beryl. So let me show y'all on the satellite loop of what Beryl looks like right now. This is what Beryl looks like. Right now it is it looks way better than it did earlier. It's finally starting to be kind of more compact again, and it's slowly gonna move its way. Let me get my pen out. It's gonna slowly move its way kind of upward, either in between Corpus Christi and probably I know Houston's like out of the question. It's probably not gonna get to Houston, but it may be the western side or kind of like the western, not western Houston, but like just west of Houston is where this thing could still make landfall. Move this out the way. And so as that's moving through, here is the forecast track of Beryl as well. You can see here that pretty much still a tropical storm that's going to move up, and there's the cone, and then it's going to move kind of through again, like we kind of talked about this earlier, but kind of like this, the Houston regions again, the Austin regions, and up into the Dallas-Fort Worth regions as well as a tropical, either as a weak tropical storm or a tropical depression. So places like Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin can still see winds of up to 30 to 40 miles per hour, and could also still see some flooding as well as we go into tomorrow, or maybe even probably Monday or Tuesday. Most likely Tuesday. And then Beryl still might be a tropical depression. As of now, it's still forecasted to be a tropical depression even as it gets into southern Illinois, southern Indiana as well. So still could see winds about the 30 to 40 miles per hour. 30 mile per hour sustained winds and 40 mile per hour gusts still possible in southern Illinois, in southern Indiana, as well as western Kentucky, western Tennessee, eastern Arkansas as well. So still gonna have to watch out for tropical depression-like conditions through there as we move through pretty much the later portion of this week, Thursday, Friday, maybe even Wednesday, Thursday, Friday time frame. So as that's going on, here's the global hurricane track right now. We pretty much know where this thing's gonna go. So I mean, at this point, I don't really see that much of a point of looking at the models, but we're just gonna look at them either way. I'm saying the same thing that the National Hurricane Center is saying. It's just gonna go up somewhere in between Corpus Christi and Houston, and kind of go with, and kind of just like go upward. Also over here on the American model, GEFS model, again, same thing. It's going to hit somewhere in between Corpus Christi and Houston and make its way up. And then here's the European model, same thing, in between Corpus Christi and Houston, and it's going to work its way up, curve its way up as it gets attached to that trough, which we did talk about last night. So if you have not seen that yet, you probably need to, because I explained why it would be taking that path up. But here is Tropical Storm Barrow's model intensity guidance, which is kind of interesting now because only like 1 or 2 models are saying that's going to be a category 1. The rest are saying that's going to stay a tropical storm. I think we pretty much know it's going to be a hurricane at this point, but still surprising how most models think that it will stay a tropical storm and it won't develop into a hurricane at all. And so that's pretty much everything on Barrow. There's nothing going on in the Pacific right now, not that I know of. We can check it out, though, just in case. Nothing going on in the Atlantic. Nothing going on in the Pacific. Nothing in the Central Pacific. We are all good. The only thing that we're worrying about is Barrow, and that's pretty much it. So now let's go and let's talk about the future. So looking at the GFS now. Here it is. So as you move this forward, let me push this back. All right. As you move this forward, you pretty much have that summertime pattern. That's the thing I've been talking about for a while now, to where it's pretty much going to be raining every single day in some location. Now we might get a little break around July the 11th, probably just July the 11th, July the 12th. Could see some more rain in like northern South Carolina near like Myrtle Beach, Rock Hill, somewhere around there. And then July the 13th. More showers, more storms develop. Same thing on the 14th and the 15th. Again, like I was saying, it's pretty much just going to be the same pattern that we've been receiving, like the rain every single day. And that's pretty much all that I see in terms of that. So that's that. There goes Barrow. All right there. You can see it right just to our south and west as it hits Texas, and then it's going to ride all the way up into Canada, just as a regular low pressure. And that's pretty much all that is in terms of the future. So we're going to talk to our audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. So let's go and let's see what everyone here has to talk about, wants to know about. My Nana says, hello Jay, it's still 90 degrees outside. Feel like temperatures of 90, yes. Right now, let me see what it's like at my house right now. It is 81 degrees, feels like 88, so it still feels like 90 for sure. Saw lightning around an hour ago, but still no rain for today. I don't think I have seen rain. Let me check. It's been... Last time I saw rain, it was 5 days ago on July the 1st. That was the last time my house has seen rain. So it's been a couple of days. Hopefully it doesn't rack all the way up to 20 days like I know some people have. Especially I think in the Columbia region, there was somebody that did not receive rain for around 21 days, so around 3 weeks. Hopefully that doesn't happen. And then my cousin says, good evening, Joseph. I hope you are enjoying your weekend. I sure am. And then my other cousin said, hi, Joseph, hi. And so we're going to talk about San Antonio and then Raleigh, and then I think that's pretty much all that we have. If you are from South Carolina and you're leaving because um, South Carolina is probably not going to be mentioned anymore, we will have the weekly forecast out tomorrow. So that means that the week of July the 7th through July the 13th forecast will be out tomorrow. So make sure that you guys are there at 9 o'clock because that's one of the main things that we do. So let's talk about San Antonio and Raleigh, and then we'll head on out. So as we push this forward, not really seeing any type of precipitation, especially from Barrel, until you probably get to around July the 8th, Monday, early in the morning, around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. You have a heavy shield of rain, heavy winds moving through as you get into your Monday. But I mean, as of now, it looks like Barrel's just gonna go just to your east. So yes, definitely wind will be the main impact. Rain will also be a pretty interesting impact. But honestly, in terms of like the rainfall, like the flash flooding threat, I don't really see that much because the moisture is kind of like compact inside of like this little like bubble region here. So again, Barrel's not going to be that big, and it might just pass you. Now, in terms of wind gust, because wind gust is still a pretty big concern, wind gust, you still are going to get some pretty gusty winds. You can even see it up there, up here. Let's check out let's just check out Austin, Texas. Winds up to like 50 to 60 miles per hour wind gusts. So, again, let's push this back, and we're going to check out the wind gust for you, and let's going to see what happens with that. Just dropped my cap. But as we move into tomorrow, nothing really for tomorrow. Even though tomorrow evening you could finally start to see some gusts of up to like 20 miles an hour as Barrel starts to move its way towards you. But then as you continue this forward, winds still at around 3 a.m., only around 20 to 30 miles an hour. And honestly, you might get a gust of up to like 30 miles an hour, but that's pretty much all that I'm seeing, really, in terms of like intense gusts like that. So, again, not really seeing too much in terms for San Antonio in terms of Hurricane Barrel. It's not really going to affect you too much. I mean, still gusty winds, but if you go more to your kind of like your north and east, or maybe just even your east in general, that's where you're gonna have a lot more concerns over there. It's like a very sharp cutoff, almost. Now let's talk about temperature-wise, because that's also pretty important to talk about. As we move through, gonna be around 82. Seems to be kind of when like Hurricane Barrel is passing you in the afternoon hours. But as we get into tonight, we have low temperatures. Seems to be around the mid 70s, around 74, and then as you go into tomorrow, and that's actually kind of cool. Let me turn that off real quick because I'm going to show you all that real quick. Let me turn that off. All right, you can see kind of like the outline of Barrel as it's moving its way inward. You can see it. Let me circle it. Right here, you can see the outer band right here. You can see Barrel itself right there. And let me zoom in a little bit. You can see it as it's moving its way inward. That's kind of cool to see on the temperature map. But then as you go into tomorrow, high temperatures seems to be around 98. And then low temperatures tomorrow around 70. Seems to be around 78, somewhere around there. And then as you move into 2 o'clock on Monday, it'll be around 80 degrees as Barrel is passing you. So it'll still be pretty warm out there. But that's pretty much it for San Antonio. Let me move up here to Raleigh. And then as I move this back, low temperatures for Raleigh around 79. And then as you go into tomorrow, high temperatures around 92. And then low temperatures tomorrow night around 74. And then around 86 at around 2 o'clock on Monday. In terms of severe weather, I don't see nothing for days 1, day 2, or day 3 for either San Antonio or Raleigh. But then as we move into excessive rainfall, let me see if I see anything for here. San Antonio still under a marginal risk of excessive rainfall for tonight, even though I didn't really see any rain modeled. Raleigh is also under a slight risk of severe weather for tonight. As we move, Raleigh's under a marginal risk of excessive rainfall, so some minor flooding is possible tomorrow. Also, San Antonio, marginal risk of excessive rainfall tomorrow, so not tomorrow, but Monday when Hurricane Beryl is passing you, so some isolated flash flooding is possible. Same thing on Tuesday, isolated flash flooding, minor flooding is possible, and then Raleigh on day 5, Wednesday, minor flooding is possible, and that's pretty much it. So, let me move my way back to South Carolina. Here's one last look at the radar one more time if you wanted to look at it. Make sure that you guys hit the like button and the subscribe button, please, as that will help me out immensely. Right now, we are at 141 subscribers, so if we can get to around 100, remember our goal is 200 by the end of August, so we usually are on the trend of getting like 1 to 2 subscribers a day, so hopefully we can continue on that trend and we can get another 1 or 2 tonight. Again, make sure that you guys share and you guys are hitting the like button. We have 7 people watching and I think 10 likes, so if you have not hit the like button already, though, make sure that you do that. And that's pretty much all that I have. So make sure that you guys are here for tomorrow for next week's forecast, July the 7th through July the 13th. And I am heading out. So everyone have a fantastic rest of your Saturday evening, and I'll be back tomorrow evening with another video.